Hey YouTube, Jolene here with Thankfulness and Blessings, and sorry about the close-up shot and then coming back out. I'm thinking there's probably a button somewhere on my camera that lets me know when it starts recording, and probably one that lets me know when it's done recording. I'm trying to figure out how much space I'll record on the SD card that I have. So we'll be kind of fumbling through this together, but it's kind of a cool journey. Alright, so today I'm thankful for, as I've mentioned previously, kind of when things don't work out. So my intention was this chicken that we see here, it's drumsticks. I have 2 whole bowls of drumsticks, and I don't even know how many, I think it's like 25 drumsticks or something. Anyways, it was, when we were just coming out of being homeless and needed to provide food for my family, they had a really good sale on chicken drumsticks. So I bought like 20 pounds of chicken. So there's the chicken. Some of them are smaller and some of them are just huge, like that one. That one's huge. I bought them because I wanted to be able to feed my family, and just having a drumstick, my husband's not a fan of always like eating off a bone per se, but it's food and that helps provide for our family. And now that we're out of such the situation that we were, and kind of be a little more flexible, but this has been in the freezer, and that, hey, I could use it as I needed it, and I would. It's as my family, and I'm thankful for that. So my plan was to take the chicken and put them into jars, which, alright. Here's a dirty jar. It had some milk in it. We canned up some milk a few months back. Alright, so here's a dirty jar. What I was planning on doing was taking 2 or 3 of these drumsticks and putting them in a jar, putting a lid on them. After I whip the rims down with vinegar. You always gotta make sure you get the fat off your rims. And then canning it up, and then I'd have, I don't know, 5, 8 jars, pint jars, of 2 or 3 drumsticks with the bone in it. So whatever juice would be in there, I could also use that to make bone broth in the future. So that was my plan, and yeah, plans don't always work out the way they plan. You plan. So I realized when we brought our pressure canner down, you'll see in the previous video, when we brought the pressure canner down to wash it up from the move, make sure there's no dirt in it, all of that, because you always want to make sure that your working materials are clean and sanitary. And so I knew where things were before we moved, and I don't think I'm alone on this. Sometimes things you don't know where they are after you move, and that's the case with the pressure gauge for the pressure canner, and you cannot pressure can unless you have that pressure gauge. So I'm going to go need to buy one. So I'm going to have to buy myself a couple days. Hopefully it'll be done by that time frame. Going to have to buy myself a couple days to allow that to be shipped to me. So as soon as I'm done making this video and filling this pot with chicken, I'm going to go do that. Anyways, so plan B, what do? The chicken has been thawing for 3 days, 2 days, 3 days. It's at the point where it's completely thawed and would have been very safe for pressure canning. But it's also at the point that I can't leave it in this state for another 2-3 days, raw, uncooked, like that, or it could potentially get spoiled. And nobody wants to have spoiled food. So what I've decided to do is, welcome to the water bath canner. So this is a water bath canner, and that's what it looks like on the inside. Kind of cool. I don't even know how many quarts or gallons, or even if it even says. Okay, so it holds 7 quart jars and 9 pint jars, or 12 half pint jars. It's a 21 and a half quart canner. But this is a water bath canner. You cannot put that under pressure. I have used the water bath canner to sterilize jars that I've been using. And this is dirty. I'm in the process of going to clean it. But this is a rack that when you water bath can, you put this down into this canner. Again, as I mentioned in the previous, what that does is that gives a little bit of a layer so that your jars are not sitting right on the hot bottom. So, plan B, I am going to dump all of this chicken into this water bath canner. I am going to bring it to a boil, and make sure it gets all soft and all the chicken that's on the bone will basically fall off the bone, so it's going to take several hours. Then, once it's cooled down, I am going to take the drumsticks out, take all the chicken off all the bones, which is a process I was not looking forward to doing right now. Just got a couple things going on. I didn't really have the time, I guess. Anyways, what you need to do what you need to do. So what this has turned into is I will be pressure canning chicken soup. I probably will not be pressure canning for a couple days. Because it's a couple day process to fully get everything, the bone broth. And that's what I'm going to be going for, is I'm going to boil these for probably the rest of today, and when it cools down, I might reboil it a little bit longer than just today. Anyways, gonna take the chicken off the bone, and then I can make bone broth. What I can do is I can just re-put the bones in here. I can take the chicken aside, and that saves time than trying to kind of redo things. So once I take the chicken off the bone, I'll have a bowl of chicken, and I can take the bones and reboil them back in here, and then strain them, and that'll be bone broth. Then I can turn that into a chicken soup that already has bone broth with it. And then that buys me a couple days to be able to get the dial gauge for my pressure canner, so I can save that food for long-term storage. If we happen to get sick, sniffly, whatever, we will have good quality chicken soup. So all I'm doing today, and so sometimes plan change, you just gotta kind of work with it, is opening these bags and tossing all the chicken. Now I have something over here that I need to, there. Oh gosh, that hurt. Alright, so back at what I was saying. So there's 2, 4, 6. Wow, this one has 3, so I'll save this one because it's easier to count by 2s when you're counting quickly. And always make sure you wash your hands beforehand. I did wash my hands before this. I'm not directly touching the meat right now. 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm not directly touching the meat right now. But always thoroughly wash your hands before and after handling meat. So this is 10. My husband's going to love me because he's going to have to take the garbage out because this is going to all have raw stuff in it. At room temperature, that doesn't smell too good in a trash can. I don't know if you can see my puppy. My puppy's right here. She's trying to say, hey, I'm smelling meat, and I want to know what I'm smelling. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27. Alright, so there is 27 drumsticks that I need to dump in here. I'm not going to keep you on this. So, I just wanted to say, hey, this is what a water bath canner is. When, kind of my change of plans and what I'm going to do with it. So always, if you're working with something, making food, and it doesn't work one way, just make it a different way. It'll still be edible. It'll still be nourishment for your family. Excuse me. No, I did not touch my hand to my mouth doing that. So yeah. Thank you for watching. Like my video. Comment below if you've had any changes when you're in the middle of trying to fix something or cook something. If you're trying to fix something, if you're trying to cook something, and you're like, wait, I don't have this ingredient, or in my situation, I don't have the dial for my pressure canner. So, you have a blessed day, and thank you, and Jesus loves you. Where's the button? There's the button. Oh, how do I hit the button without hitting the mic? Yeah.